You know what I've learned, sweetheart? Silence is louder than a scream. It speaks louder than any words ever could. Walk into a room, say nothing, but have them feel your presence. That's power, raw, unfiltered, undeniable power. And guess what? You're about to learn how to wield that power, like a blade pressed to their throats. The world, it thrives on noise. People shout, scream, fight for attention, desperately trying to be heard. But here's the truth. The louder they are, the weaker they become. They drown themselves in their own noise, desperate for validation, hungry for scraps. It's pathetic. And you? You've been part of that circus, haven't you? Dancing to their tune, playing their game. But not anymore. Not tonight. Tonight, you'll learn how to make the room bow to you without saying a word. You see, people don't respect noise. They fear silence. Think about it. When a dog barks, you ignore it. But when it stares at you, silent and still, teeth bared, that's when your heart starts racing. That's the power of silence. Silence creates tension. It's like a loaded gun, cocked and ready. And in this world, tension rules. You've let them talk over you, walk all over you, laugh at you. I can see it in your eyes. That fire you've been trying to bury because you think it's dangerous. And you're right. It is dangerous. Dangerous gets results. You just need to learn how to control it, how to channel it. Let me tell you a secret. People are sheep. They follow the loudest voice in the room until they meet the quiet ones, the still ones, the wolves. And wolves don't bark. They bite. You want revenge, don't you? I see the fire in your chest, crawling under your skin. They've pushed you, hurt you, humiliated you. But revenge, it's not about screaming in their face or throwing a tantrum. That's what weaklings do. Real revenge is quiet. It's calculated. It's walking into the room, looking them in the eye, and watching them squirm. They know they're beneath you, and that terrifies them. They'll try to provoke you, pull you into their chaos. That's their game, but not yours. You're smarter than that now. You'll play the long game. You'll make them feel so small, so insignificant, that your silence will haunt them long after you're gone. And when they look back, they'll realize you didn't need to say a damn word. You controlled them without lifting a finger. Remember this. Power isn't about what you say. It's about what you don't say. It's in the way you look at them, the way you carry yourself. In your silence, they'll project their fears, their insecurities, their doubts. You'll become a mirror, reflecting back their ugliness. And that terrifies them. Think of it this way. When a storm's coming, it's the silence before it hits that chills you to the bone. That's what you're going to become. The calm before the storm. The silence that promises destruction. But don't mistake silence for weakness. Silence is a weapon, and like any weapon, it needs to be sharpened. You've got to learn control, discipline, when to strike, and when to wait. That's what separates the amateurs from the professionals. And you're going to be a goddamn professional. They'll learn to fear you, not because of what you say, but because of what you don't. Every move, every glance, every breath will scream dominance. You'll own the room, own their minds, without saying a word. That's power. That's control. They'll never see it coming. They'll underestimate you, laugh at you, think you're nothing. Let them. Because when you finally step into that room, when you stand there in silence and let your presence do the talking, they'll realize too late that you're not nothing. You're everything. And you won't have to raise your voice. Hell, you won't even have to lift a finger. You'll watch them crumble under the weight of their own guilt and shame while you stand there, calm, collected, untouchable. That's power. That's control. So what do you say, kid? Ready to stop being their punchline and start being the one who writes the jokes? Remember this: silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. And when you master it, you won't just control the room, you'll own it. You think it ends here, don't you? Just walking into a room, quiet and smug, and suddenly everyone bows? Number. That's just the start. Silence is a tool, a weapon. But like any weapon, you've got to know when to use it, and when to put it away. Power isn't just about standing still. It's about knowing you could move, knowing you could speak, knowing you could tear them apart with a single word, but choosing not to. That's control. Control is what separates the predators from the prey. And the world, it's a jungle. They'll tell you it's fair, civilized, balanced. Lies. It's dog-eat-dog out there, and only the ones who understand the rules of the hunt survive. You've been playing by their rules, and look where it's gotten you. Broken, bitter, angry. But now you'll learn the rules of the jungle. Rule number 1, never let them know your next move. You've seen it, right? The guy who talks too much, brags too loud. He's the first to go down. Why? Because he's given them everything, his cards, laid out for everyone to see. You'll keep your cards close. Hell, they won't even know you're in the game until it's too late. When you're silent, they second-guess. They doubt. And doubt? Doubt is a cancer. It eats away at their confidence, their plans, their egos. While they're busy trying to figure you out, you'll already be 10 steps ahead, ready to strike. And when you do, they won't even see it coming. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man, quiet, unassuming, the kind of guy no one would look twice at. Everyone thought he was weak, harmless. They laughed at him, used him, took him for granted. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't know, was that he was watching. Always watching. Learning their weaknesses, their habits, their fears. Years passed, and one day he didn't say a word. He just acted, swift, decisive. He didn't give them time to react. And when the dust settled, he stood alone, untouched, while they were left in ruins. That man? He understood the power of silence, the power of patience. You can be that man? No, scratch that. You can be better. But first, you've got to let go of this need to prove yourself. That's the trap they want you to fall into. The moment you try to explain or defend yourself, you've already lost. Because defending yourself means you care about what they think. And you're above that now. You don't explain. You don't defend. You just are. Think about the greats, the ones who commanded real respect. They didn't need to shout. They didn't need to stomp their feet. They just walked into a room, and the air changed. People felt them before they even spoke. And when they did speak, every word was a bullet, sharp, precise. But the real power, the real fear, it came from the silence between the words. Now, you're ready. Joker, what about the ones who don't back down? The loudmouths who keep coming at me? Easy. You let them burn themselves out. Let them scream. Let them rant. Let their voices crack. Watch them puff up, turn red in the face, exhausted from all the insults they can throw your way. When they finally run out of breath, when they've thrown every pathetic jab they've got, that's when you strike. But not with words, not with fists. You strike with presence. You stand there, staring them down, cold and unblinking, like they're beneath you. And trust me, they'll crumble. They always do. Because deep down, they know they're playing a losing game. They know they don't have what it takes to stand against someone like you. But don't mistake this for just revenge. Oh no, it's more than that. It's about building something bigger, something stronger. It's about becoming untouchable. The kind of person who doesn't just survive, but thrives. The kind of person who walks through fire and comes out the other side unscathed. And here's the kicker. Oh, they'll hate you for it. They'll despise you. They'll talk behind your back, plot against you, try to drag you down. Let them. Their hatred is proof that you're doing something right. Because the truth is, people hate what they can't control. And you'll be uncontrollable. A silent storm tearing through their lives without ever raising your voice. So go on. Step into the room. Let them feel your presence. Let them drown in their own noise. And when the time comes, remind them, without saying a single word, who the hell they're really dealing with. You feel that, don't you? That silence in your chest? That weight? That's not fear, no. That's potential. Power waiting to be unleashed. It's been there, buried inside you this whole time, just rusting away. But now you're starting to wake up. You're starting to see the cracks in their little world, the way they pretend to have it all figured out, the smiles, the laughs, the certainty. But behind that mask, fear. Fear of you. Fear of what you could become if you ever decided to stop playing their game. I know what they've done to you. The lies, the betrayals, the way they've tried to make you doubt yourself. They've been feeding you poison, hoping you'd swallow it and stay weak. But you didn't, did you? Not entirely. There's still that spark inside you, that little flame they couldn't snuff out. And that flame? It's going to burn everything they built. Not with rage, not with chaos, but with cold, calculated silence. You'll become the thing they fear the most. The unknown. The question they can't answer. The shadow they can't escape. Here's the thing about people. They think they want answers. But really? They want comfort. They want certainty. And when you take that away, when you leave them with nothing but their own doubts and insecurities, that's when they'll break. That's when they'll fall apart. You won't give them the satisfaction of knowing what you're thinking. Let them guess. Let them drive themselves crazy trying to figure you out. That's how you win. Not by shouting over them. Not by playing their game. But by changing the rules completely. You know what I love about silence? It's honest. Words are cheap. Anyone can say anything. But silence? Silence takes strength. It takes confidence. It's the ultimate truth, because it forces people to confront themselves. And trust me, most people can't handle that. They'd rather drown in their own noise than face the silence. But you're going to embrace it. You're going to make it your ally, your weapon. And when they try to fill that void with their pathetic little words, you'll just stand there, calm, untouchable. I won't lie, this isn't going to be easy. They'll test you, push you, do everything they can to get a reaction out of you. That's their game. They want you to snap. They want you to lose control. They want you to stoop to their level. But you won't. Because you're better than that. You'll let them talk. Let them scream. Let them make fools of themselves. And when they've run out of steam, when they've exhausted their last breath, you'll still be standing there, silent, unshaken. And that will destroy them. Because deep down, they know they can't touch you. They can't break you. Real power isn't about what you can take from others. It's about what they can't take from you. Your silence, your composure, your presence. That's yours. They can't steal it, can't corrupt it, can't twist it. It's pure. It's untouchable. When you walk into a room with that kind of power, oh, they'll feel it. The air will change. The room will go quiet. Not because you demanded it, but because they can't ignore you. You'll command respect without asking for it. But here's the thing. You've got to believe it first. You've got to see yourself as the force of nature you're becoming. Because if you don't believe it, neither will they. Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet. It's steady. It's walking into a room and knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're the one in control. And that confidence? It's not something they can give you. It's not something they can take away. It's yours. It's always been yours. You've just been too blind to see it. But now you see it, don't you? That spark in your chest? That fire in your belly? It's growing. Soon it's going to consume everything that's been holding you back. The fear, the doubt, the pain. It's all fuel for the fire. And when it burns away, all that will be left is you. The real you. The you they were too scared to let out. They told you silence was weakness, didn't they? They told you to speak up. Fight back. Scream until your throat bled if you wanted to be heard. But here's the joke. They don't hear you when you scream. They don't. The loud? They respect the quiet. Think about the times you were silent. The times you bit your tongue and just watched, instead of speaking. That's when they felt the most uncomfortable, wasn't it? That's when their masks started to slip. When their voices got shaky. When their eyes darted around the room, looking for a way out. Because silence is a mirror. And they hate what they see in it. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to lift a finger to destroy them. You just stand there. Watch them squirm. Let their own insecurities do the work for you. It's a beautiful thing, really. Watching them unravel while you stay perfectly still. But let's not sugarcoat it. Silence is a weapon, but it's also a burden. It's heavy. It demands discipline, patience, control. It's not for the faint of heart. You'll have to resist the urge to lash out, to prove yourself, to defend yourself. You'll have to let them think they've won. Let them underestimate you. And that, my friend, takes strength. They'll try to break you. Oh, they'll poke, prod, throw their words at you like knives, hoping one will stick. They'll call you names, accuse you of things you didn't do, twist your silence into something ugly. And you'll stand there and take it. Because you'll know the truth. Every word they throw at you is just a reflection of their own fears, their own weaknesses. The trick to mastering silence? It's not about biting your tongue or suppressing your emotions. It's about owning them, feeling every ounce of anger, every pang of hurt, every flicker of doubt, and then letting it pass. Letting it roll off you like water off a stone. Because the moment you let their words stick to you, the moment you let them get under your skin, you've lost. But when you stand there, unflinching, unwavering, unbroken, that's when you win. And that's when they'll start to fear you. Picture it. You walk into a room. The chatter dies down. All eyes turn to you, not because you demanded their attention, but because they can't help themselves. They feel it, the weight of your presence, the power radiating off you. And you don't say a word. You just stand there, calm, composed, in control. They'll try to fill the silence, of course. They'll fidget, laugh nervously, maybe even throw a few insults, hoping for a reaction. But you'll just watch, quiet, unbothered. And in that silence, they'll feel their own insignificance. They'll see themselves for what they truly are: small, weak, powerless. But don't get comfortable. Power like this comes with a price. The stronger you become, the more they'll try to tear you down. They'll whisper behind your back, spread lies, do everything they can to tarnish your name. Let them. Their words mean nothing. Their opinions mean nothing. Because you'll know the truth. You'll know you're untouchable. And here's the kicker. They'll respect you for it. They won't admit it, of course. They'll never say it out loud. But deep down, in the darkest corners of their minds, they'll know. They'll know you're the one in control. They'll know they can't beat you. So here's your choice. You can keep playing their game, keep shouting into the void, keep begging for scraps of respect they'll never give you. Or you can step into the silence, embrace it, own it, make it your weapon, your shield, your crown. And when you do, oh, they'll feel it. They'll feel it in their bones, their guts, their very souls. They'll know they're standing in the presence of someone who doesn't just command respect, someone who demands it, without saying a single word. So, what's it going to be, kid? Are you ready to control the room? Ready to make them see you, feel you, fear you? Because once you step into this power, there's no going back. You'll be a force they can't ignore, a presence they can't escape. And trust me, they'll never forget you. You're still here, aren't you? Still breathing it in? Good. That means you're starting to understand, starting to feel it, the shift in your gut, the fire in your veins. You're waking up to the truth, the kind of truth they don't put in books or plaster on motivational posters. It's ugly, raw, and it stinks of reality. But it's real. And real is powerful. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people screw it up. You've got the silence. You've got the presence. You're holding the cards close to your chest. But what comes next? How do you use it? Let me tell you something. Power sitting still is wasted potential. It's a gun that's never fired, a blade that never cuts. Power needs action. Silent, deliberate, calculated action. Here's how you do it. You don't rush in, guns blazing. You don't scream or shout or wave your fists like a madman. You let them come to you. You let their curiosity, their fear, their insecurity pull them closer. You let the silence build. Let the tension grow until it's so thick they can't breathe. And then you strike. But not with words. Words are cheap, remember? Anyone can throw them around. You strike with action, subtle, deliberate, devastating action. A look, a gesture, a move so precise and unexpected that it cuts deeper than any insult ever could. Picture this. You're in a room full of them. The ones who doubted you, laughed at you, used you. They're talking, laughing, trying to pretend they're in control. And you're just standing there, watching, silent, calm, waiting. And then, when the moment's right, you move. Maybe it's a single step forward. Maybe it's a glance, cold, sharp, like a knife. Maybe it's nothing more than the way you tilt your head, like you're seeing them for what they really are. Small, weak, insignificant. And that one move? Oh, it'll shatter them. Because it's not about what you did. It's what it meant. The message behind the silence. The power behind the stillness. That's what breaks them. That's what makes them crumble. And the best part? They'll never be able to call you out on it. Because you didn't say a word. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't throw a punch. You just existed. And that existence, that presence, was enough to destroy them. That's the art of it, my friend. the art of silence, the art of control. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less. Less noise, less movement, less effort, and yet achieving more than they ever could. But don't get cocky. This kind of power, it's not about stroking your ego or showing off. It's about purpose. Every move you make, every breath you take, it has to mean something. Because when you're silent, everything you do is amplified. Every glance, every gesture, every step. It becomes a statement. And that's why you have to be careful. Because once you step into this power, once you embrace the silence, there's no room for mistakes. One wrong move, one slip of the mask, and they'll pounce. They'll tear you apart. Not because they're stronger, but because you let them see a crack in your armor. So you have to be perfect. Every second, every step, every breath. Perfect, not for them, but for you. Because this isn't about proving anything to them anymore. It's about proving it to yourself. And here's the thing. They'll never see it coming. They'll think you're the same. Quiet, overlooked, underestimated. Nobody. Let them. Let them think they've got you figured out. Because when you finally make your move, when you finally let them feel the weight of your presence, it'll hit them like a freight train. In that moment, that's when you'll see it. Fear in their eyes. The realization that they were wrong about you, that they underestimated you, that they can't control you. And trust me, that look is worth more than 1,000 words. So, what's it going to be, kid? Are you ready to step into the silence? Ready to own the room? The moment? The game? Because once you do, there's no going back. You'll be a force they can't ignore, a presence they can't escape. And trust me, they'll never forget you. Still standing here, huh? Still breathing it in? Good. That means you're getting it.